Greetings, I'm Bairnt, and welcome to the One-Stop Co-op Shop. Today we're continuing our playthrough of Kingdom Death Monster. We're moving into the settlement phase and then the hunt phase, and we're going to continue on, and we're almost to the point where we might be fighting the Watcher, which I'm pretty excited about because I have no idea what's going to happen there. We're coming back from a level 3 lion fight where we, as per usual, lost at least only one person, which is pretty good. In the grand scheme of things, this poor settlement loses a person in every fight. But that's okay. That's why we have our Graves principle. So we're going to be gaining 2 endeavors from that, and then we're going to be gaining 1 from each of the people that come back, and we're getting 1 from cooking. Of course, I'm getting a little ahead of myself because the first thing we have to do, of course, is grab all of our experience, and Gwyneth is going to reach a milestone for her age. So we're going to go ahead and figure out what weapon proficiency she's going to gain, and also what is going to happen to her. We're going to go ahead and roll 2 dice and see what we get. We got a 17. With that roll, she's going to gain 1 permanent accuracy, and I'm going to give her the weapon proficiency of club. Hopefully, she'll actually get to be able to use that at some point before she probably kicks the bucket here. So that was our age milestone. We are complete with that. We're going to be moving into the settlement phase. If you're excited to see if our survivors can make it through yet another settlement phase, then I need you to meet me at the One-Stop Co-op Shop. So of course the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and bring our survivors back. We're going to gain our endeavors, which we already did, and we're going to go ahead and update our timeline and get our death count under control. We're going into Lantern Year 23, and it looks like we're going to fight a nemesis of the Butcher 3. Now, because we're fighting the nemesis encounter, I cannot choose to take on the Watcher at this time. Remember, after we got to this point, I could have chosen to fight the Watcher at any moment on these, unless the next encounter is a nemesis fight, and it's the Butcher. So I'm not going to be able to do that. I'm going to go ahead and update our death count, at least for now. This is actually probably going to be a pretty short video because I didn't realize we're fighting the Butcher. So we're actually not going to have hunt phase. We're just going to go ahead and do the Butcher. Just the Butcher. I'm pretty sure he's going to butcher a lot of people. We're going to see how it goes. Updating our death count is going to go ahead and move us right into grabbing one of our settlement events. Let's see which one we're going to get. We're just going to shuffle up a little bit, and we're just going to grab this one right here and see what we have found. We have found Weird Dream Settlement Event. If you are the only player, the survivor dreams about a giant man that controls the lives from the darkness above. All departing survivors gain 3 insanity. I think we've had this one before. Otherwise, a lot of stuff is going to happen. So we're not going to be doing any of this. We're just going to gain the 3 insanity for all our departing survivors, and that is going to be the end of our settlement event. Now, I know we've seen that one before, and there's probably some in here we haven't seen, but that's just the way this game goes. I'm going to go ahead and remember to give everybody 3 by leaving the card just like that, and we're going to move into the next step of our settlement phase here. We're going to go ahead and check our develop. We're going to go ahead and develop. So I'm going to move all of these over, and we're going to start developing. And I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use 1 of our endeavors, and we're going to go ahead and grab I think we're going to innovate. So I'm going to go ahead and find a monster bone, a monster hide, and here's a monster organ. We're going to go with these. We're going to go ahead and discard these 3 with our innovation token to go ahead and draw 4 of these and see which one we want. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to grab these 4 right here and see what we get. We have gotten Memento Mori, Heart Flute, Scarification, and Partnership. So we can go ahead and pick one of these. I'm not even sure which one to do. Now, of course, just to remind everybody, Partnership doesn't really help our group too much because nobody ever lives long enough to take care of it. I can spend 2 endeavors to nominate 2 survivors. The pair off and each gain a partner ability. A survivor may be nominated for partnership only once per lifetime. Of course, the partner will then gain a name, and when both arrive, they gain survival up to their survival limit, and the partner may only nominate each other for intimacy. When the partner dies, the remaining partner gains a random disorder and loses this ability. Memento Mori, some of the things that can happen, I gain a profound memory, I gain a hunt experience of the dead survivor. Oh, this might actually be pretty good. Maybe used once per settlement phase. Nominate a survivor that died in the last showdown and roll a d10. Nothing happens. Gain insanity of the dead survivor. Pain from memory. Gain the courage of the and understanding of the dead survivor, or profound memory. Well, that might actually not be too bad because guys die all the time. Let's see what this one is. Something about synchronized strike, which we don't have. Oh, and here's the scarification. Some of them are good, some of them are bad, and one of them right here is kind of in between. So I think we're actually going to take Memento Mori, especially because we had a dead survivor. And sadly, I don't think that person had too much because I think it was their first time we're going out on a mission. Maybe it's their second. We'll have to take a look. All right, we're going to go ahead and grab this one. That's going to be our thing. We're going to go ahead and throw these right back in. There's nothing to add to our innovation deck according to that card, and we're going to go ahead and continue developing. Now what we have next is our love juice sitting right up on top. We're going to go ahead and perform an intimacy event, so I'm going to go ahead and roll 2 dice, and we're going to nominate 2 survivors. We're going to do that because otherwise I'm going to see something really bad here. We're going to go with Morel and Huma. There we go, those 2 people. Let's see how this goes. Hopefully neither one of them have destroyed genitals or we'll have to find somebody else. All right, and we got 2 lantern 10s. All right, so that means we got twins, which is fantastic. I'm going to go ahead and document that in our book. Sadly, we still have a survivor or savior here in our midst. Why do we still have this guy? Which this guy would just die. So I could go ahead and get a new one because this guy is absolutely worthless right now. He can't use any survival because of his intracranial hemorrhage, which is ridiculous. Now I probably have something here that could probably cure him. Maybe we might try to do that this time because we've got a lot of extra stuff here and we have a pretty good population right now. We have actually a population of 11. So that was our intimacy event with our love juice. We're going to go ahead with the rest of our stuff and figure out the best stuff to buy. One thing we need to do is I want my lance back. So I need to give up the legendary horns, which are right here, and I also have to give up 6 organs. So I think we had a couple organs that we have from our hunt here. We got 1 organ. All right, fantastic. That's it. Okay, we got 1 organ. Then we also got 2 organs right here. We've got 3, 4, 5, and then I think we need to find 1 more. I've got no more organs. All right, well, we're just going to go ahead and get rid of one of these question marks because that could be anything. All right, so now we were able to go ahead and get back our Lance of Longinus. So that's one of the things we're able to buy. Now, if we look through the rest of our stuff here, we have a lot of really cool things. There's a lot of bones and things. I don't even think we need to make another knife. We got a knife already. We got a lot of hide, which I don't know if it's really going to help us. I do have 1 iron and a acanthus. I can turn to a fresh acanthus or a dried acanthus, which is fine. But I only have 1 iron, and I don't know if there's much we can make with that 1 iron. One thing I could do is I could make a lantern sword. I've got enough to be able to take care of this if I wanted to, or an lantern dagger. I could make a lantern dagger if I wanted to, but again, I'm not sure if that's really a good use of our iron because I don't know. I know the person that's using this gear will not use these swords because she gets extra stuff going when she uses clubs, and she's already got a great club. We also have that dagger girl, so maybe the lantern dagger might not be too bad, but the bone dagger didn't seem to be too bad. And we also have a bow character, so I don't really know why he's going to need a lantern sword. And of course we got the Lance of Longinus, which means we're not going to want to use the lantern sword. Maybe I might get the lantern dagger. Let's take a look at it. Here are my options. You go ahead and tell me what you think would be the best thing. We could go ahead and get this lantern dagger. Now, of course, it is sharp, but it is an early iron, so when I attack roll, it results in a 1. It cancels any hits and ends the attack. So this one, it's a risk-reward type dealie. The whistling mace is what I'm already using. If I roll a 1, I hurt myself. If I roll a 10, I get to see a perfect hit. And this thing is always sharp when I'm using my lantern gear. Or look at the lantern sword, which actually hits a little bit better. It needs a 5+ instead of a 6+. Otherwise, it's exactly the same. It has sharp just like that does. And it has to have that early iron. So I'm not sure that early iron could be a little devastating. Of course, this will hurt me for 1 damage, where this would just cancel all of my hits, which could be absolutely tragic. Go ahead and tell me what you think I should do in the comments below. You think I should get the lantern dagger for our dagger girl and replace the bone dagger? Should I get the lantern sword to replace the whistling mace? Or should I just save my iron for something coming up? It's so hard to decide because iron is such a resource that is so hard to come by. Now it's time to go ahead and spend our endeavors. I think we're going to do 3 different things. We're going to try these out. Of course, we're going to try the shrine. I've had really good experiences with the shrine. We're going to go ahead and use one of our endeavors to roll the die. We got a 9. We're going to add +1 to all of our departing survivors' armor locations. That's awesome. Next, we're going to do face painting again. I like getting this survival and insanity. We'll see how this goes. Now, sadly, fighting the butcher, I don't think the survival is going to help us too much, and this is probably a bad idea, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Still, we got a 9. We're able to go ahead ahead and grab 2 survival and 1 insanity to all of our departing survivors. Next, we're going to go ahead and try this, our Memento Mori. We're going to nominate a new survivor named Raph. Raph has now joined our ranks. He's one of the twins that was born. He is going to go ahead and remember our departed survivor. This is the one, I believe, that died in our last video. We're going to go ahead, spend our endeavor, and see what happens. We're going to roll it up. We got an 8. So that means that we've got an 8. It means painful memories, gain courage, and the understanding of the dead survivor. That's actually exactly what I wanted to happen. Look at this. She's got 4 and 4. So he's going to go ahead and gain 4 courage and 4 understanding, which means he's going to go ahead and level up both his bold and his insight. And since he's doing it during this stage, he's going to go ahead and grab Matchmaker, and he's going to grab Tinkerer. We've seen a lot of this in our plays already, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you where we are here. We've gone ahead and added all of our up. We've gotten 1 in bold, and we've gotten 1 in insight. They trigger right here and here. And since this is our settlement phase, we're going to gain Tinkerer, which means +1 endeavor when I return. And also I can spend 1 endeavor to trigger the intimacy story event as the Matchmaker, which might happen right about now. But first, we have to roll for our bold event. Is it 1d10? It is 1d10. For our bold event, we got a 7, which means I'm going to gain +1 endeavor this settlement phase. That's awesome. Then we're going to go ahead and do our insight as well. We're going to roll a d10 and see what we get. We got a 2. If you innovate this phase, draw +1 cards. I'm going to draw an extra card then for innovation because, well, no, it's too late. I already innovated. Should have done this first. I didn't realize that was going to happen. That's too bad. Oh, besides, I needed the Memento Mori in order for him to be able to get that anyway, so I wouldn't be able to draw the extra card. We're going to go ahead and put all of our innovations back up here because we are done with them. We've innovated. We've done a lot of the things we want to do with our innovations that we have, so the only thing left to do with these 4 is really just, I think we're going to go ahead and, I don't have to make any leather. I don't have to make anything like that. Okay, I'm going to save, no, I can't save these. If we decide to go ahead and grab the sword or the dagger, I'm going to have to make some leather in order to do that. And I don't know if, I think we're going to do it anyway. I'm going to go ahead and just make leather, just so we have it when we come back, and I don't have to spend them next time because we got a lot of our things right now. So I'm going to go ahead and make some leather with that. We'll make like, oh, let's say 5 leather. That'll be fantastic. I'll go through my record sheet and figure out how many hide we have, and if I have less than 5, we'll make less than 5. If I have more than 5, then we might decide to make more depending on how this goes. But we have 3 left to do an intimacy events, and one of them I can do right away because he has Matchmaker, which states when you're a returning survivor once per year, maybe spend 1 to, oh, I have to be a returning survivor, so he's not a returning survivor. Intimacy, I have to spend an endeavor when a returning survivor. Okay, so that's not going to happen. We're going to go ahead then instead, go ahead and try to augur. That's what we're going to do, and we're going to find, oh, we're going to have him do it. He's got lots of understanding. Check this out. He's going to go ahead and try 1. He got a 3. Oh, that's not going to be good. He's going to go ahead and gain 1 survival. So that was the first one. He gained a survival. Well, it's not too bad. He's got 2 now. Why not, huh? All right, we're going to roll again and see what we get. We got, oh, I got a lantern 10. So we were able to perform an intimacy event, and we're going to go ahead and grab, well, I'm not going to grab Raph. He's brand new. Or Gwyneth or Hawk or Kalidia. Those guys can all actually do something. These are the guys, these little guys. I can't do anything. My man, he can go ahead and give it a shot. He'll take morale. Here we go. These two are going to go. Does she have destroyed genitals? No, she's good. All right, those two are going to go hang out and see what we get. We got a 7. So that means I think we're going to go ahead and get another survivor. We are going to get another survival. Not only that, that survivor is going to gain +1 permanent strength. The settlement gains +1 population, and the male and female survivors that share the deep bond gain 10 survival each. So lucky for the 2 people that are never going to see the light of day, they get 10 survival. They're never going to leave the village. All right, we're going to give them 10. That's awesome. They're all set to go back home and do nothing. So we're going to go back home. We're going to get 1 more augury. Why not? We're going to see what we get this time. Oh, I only rolled 1. We'll see what we get. We got another intimacy event. That's fantastic. This time we're going to nominate, oh, we're going to nominate Raph. This person's, who's this? Ariana. She's dead. We're going to go ahead and nominate Gwyneth and Raph. They're awesome. They're going to go for this. Oh, a lantern 10. Fantastic. We got twins. So we're actually able to get 5 survivors out of this. That brings our population to 13. And there actually is an event that happens at 15. So we're really close. Sadly, we didn't quite make it. Our first character we have is going to be Gwyneth. She's pretty much going out exactly how she was last time, but I'm giving her a lantern shield so she can actually block one of the Butcher's attacks because he's going to be pretty brutal. But I have linked everything I possibly can, so I am getting my +2 movement to counteract the -2 movement that I'm getting from my Lantern Chris. Of course, these are linked together, so I have -1 accuracy, but again, we're also using a club, so I get +2 accuracy, so I'm still actually getting +1 accuracy. I've linked all this together, so I get +3 to all my locations. But of course, I am deaf because of this. She is going to gain 10 to all of her armor points over here. She's going to get 10 survival because when I arrive, I'm going to be able to go up to my survival limit. And there's no hunt phase this time. We're just going straight into the encounter. So I've already given that to her. And she has 4 insanity, 3 from our event, and 1 from our face painting that we were able to do. We get +1 insanity when we go ahead and depart. Next, we're going to go ahead and have Clydia come with us again. She is going to go ahead and she's going to gain, she has anxiety start with my priority target token, but she has strategist, which is going to help us quite a bit with the bow. She's going to take on the white lion gear, which hasn't changed from the last time, though of course we might switch this out depending on what you all think in the comments below. If you want me to put the iron or dagger there, or lantern dagger, that's totally fine. Otherwise, maybe the lantern sword, or just leave what we have and just continue on and save that 1 iron. I've given her 4 hit points to all the locations for armor. We also have 9 insanity, and she has 10 survival. Now, I did notice she has the destroyed genitals, so she couldn't have actually done the intimacy events. I don't remember if she's the one that did it, even though I just did it a second ago. But if she is, she's still probably going to have about 10 survival because I get a ton of survival when I leave with settlement, no matter what. I get 4 + 5, 6. I automatically get 6 when I leave. And when it comes to fighting the Butcher in the past 2 fights, it doesn't even matter. You're never going to be able to use all the survival before he makes you go insane from all these lunacy tokens anyway. This is Raph. He's going to take on the Screaming Antelope gear. I've also given him a bandage and a dried acanthus. I don't want to lose that lance again, so we're going to hopefully try to save this person the best we possibly can. We don't have any more of the horns at home. Of course, we do have another one of the great cat fangs, so if we do lose that, I could probably recreate that knife again. But I don't have another of the lantern or the horn, so I would have to actually go hunting again for that. So he's all set to go. 7 insanity, 5 or 6 to all of our different locations here, 10 starting survival, and he's all set to go. Hawk is going to be our final survivor that's going to go with us to try to take on the Butcher, our last nemesis. We're going to see if we can take him out. We're going to go ahead and bring our leather gear set with the bow, and I brought the Cat Eye Circlet. Again, not sure if it's the greatest because the last 2 have had us always shuffle the hit location deck, but at least I'll know what the 3 cards are. That's better than nothing. Now, I did decide to link it a little bit different this way because thanks to all the help I got in the last video, I didn't realize this. I totally didn't link this together, and I could have got an extra evasion from my monster grease, but now I do have them all linked the way they should. This isn't really the best to be coming on this adventure, but it does link with this, so it does give me my +2 evasion, which could be pretty good against this Butcher. He's all set to go. He's got 5 defense everywhere. He's got 15 insanity, and he's also got his 10 survival. And that's it. We're going to be taking on the Butcher in the next video. Of course, this one was a little bit short. They're always a little bit short when I do the Nemesis videos, but I do always like to do the settlements and then do the big fights in this next video. So it's going to be a real exciting Nemesis fight. It's level 3. Wow, I don't even know what that thing's going to do to us. If you did enjoy the playthrough, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell symbol so you know when the Nemesis encounter for the level 3 Butcher comes out. Also, please, feel free to leave anything in the comments below. I'm going to need your help. Do we get the iron sword, or sorry, the lantern sword, the lantern dagger, or do we just keep that iron as is and save it for another time? Now, sadly, I ran out of organs. I always keep saying I buy a bunch of monster grease, and I never do. But maybe someday I might. But go ahead and tell me what else you think I should have done during this settlement phase. Thank you so much for watching, and if you're excited to see if our characters can take down the level 3 Butcher, then I need you to meet me at the co-op shop.